Hi, this is Wade Nelson. I'm the editor of HardcoreOutdoor.com, and I want to tell you about one of my favorite hiking boots today. It's made by Asolo, and they call it the FSN 95 GTX. Asolo's got a great reputation for building high performance and quality footwear. This has been one of their top sellers for a number of years. I expect this boot to continue to stay in their line. Certainly says something, because in this day and age you don't see things on the market unless they do well and they sell a lot of units. And this is one of those boots. I've talked to the Asolo people before, and I've told them how unhappy I would be if they got rid of this boot, and they assure me that they're going to continue to make and sell it. And that's a great thing for us, because even though this boot belongs in the middle of the pack in terms of weight and flexibility with the hiking boot classification, it is so much more. It really performs at the very top and really gets into areas that it isn't rated for, but it performs beautifully. I have used this boot a lot for fast packing and hiking here in the desert. I've also had it up at 12,000 feet in northern Arizona on Mount Humphreys. I've used it a lot for teaching technical rope rescue on the rock, and this boot just continues to impress me with how well it does. Apparently I'm not the only guy who's impressed with this boot, because I see this particular boot more than any other on Navy SEALs and Air Force Pararescuemen. It certainly says a lot. If the SEALs and the PJs are using your boots, that must mean it's pretty good, because they don't use any junk. But you know, it makes sense. This boot's got a lot going for it. It is a mostly leather construction boot. It does have a heavy bumper up here in the front of the toe box for protection from rocks. It's got 3 layers here. The first layer is a nubuck rough out leather. Second layer of the same kind of leather, only in a different color. But then Asolo did something really smart on this boot that keeps the weight down, and it also helps it from a comfort standpoint. They wanted to put in a good beefy side protection here, but instead of using a more traditional heavy rubber rand like we see in a lot of boots, they put in what looks like, it's not, but it looks like a Kevlar material here on the side of the boot. Kind of got a waffle pattern to it. It's thick, but it's pliable. But I've put these boots through hell, and there are no cuts or no abrasions or no wear spots on that fabric at all. The fact that it's fabric keeps the weight down, and it also makes it more comfortable on the inside to wear, because you're not bumping up against that hard rubber all the time. But I'm telling you, and they use it on the inside of the boot as well, it really adds a lot to this boot. Some other features here, it's got a great tongue design and layout here. You can see that it's connected all the way to the top of the boots. But the nice thing about it is that when you tuck it in and lay it down, there are no big ridges or folds that are going to be uncomfortable for you. It laces up very nicely. The tongue lays down against your foot. It's supportive and comfortable. The lacing that they use, they start off with the metal loops, and then they go fabric, metal loops, and fabric, and then they end up with 2 cleats on each side up on top. The boot laces up nice, rides nice, easy to adjust. It's got a nice heel pull here that's useful and functional. They did a nice job with the tapering off of the Achilles here. This is an issue that I have some difficulties with, and these boots fit me really, really well and don't provide any or put any pressure on it, or undue pressure, I should say, on my Achilles. Again, you can see how the tongue connects there, works out, again, really nice, keeping the debris out and laying down and being comfortable. You can see that they use a perforated or aerated foam up along the top here that's very comfortable, and then it transitions into a taffeta cambrel. Really a solid boot. Again, GTX stands for Gore-Tex. This boot has kept me dry. You can see the bottom here, they use an Asolo proprietary sole. You know, part of me wants to say that I'd like to see a little deeper lug pattern here, because technically it's not really very deep, and it is a little bit of an issue when you're in the dirt. and dry trails and that sort of thing. But I'll take that, given that this boot does a really nice job on the rock. Because it doesn't have those big, heavy, deep lugs in it, it smears nicely on the rock face, gives you good traction. So in any event, this is one of my favorite boots. It's certainly on my keepers list. I really like it. Oh, another thing that makes this very popular, Asolo was really smart in making a wide version of this boot. So there's regular widths and wide widths. And I'm sure that that plays a part in why the military special operations guys like it. It certainly opens it up to a lot more people in terms of fitting their feet properly. You're not going to have to go with a longer, clunkier boot just to accommodate a little wider foot. So in any event, that is the Asolo FSN 95 GTX, one of my favorite top picks for the hiking boot class. If you'd like some more information on this or other great gear, go to hardcoreoutdoor.com. Thanks.